Let's walk you through my minimal and productivity desk setup. But wait, why does this even matter? I often get asked how I stay productive and organized. The answer starts with your environment, which is why I want to talk about the 3 types of spaces: physical space, white space, and digital space. A while back, I took everything apart on my desk and only put back the essentials. I found more focus, which allowed me to get more done instead of becoming distracted. As Leonardo da Vinci succinctly puts it, perfection is achieved not when there's nothing more to add, but when there's nothing left to take away. I believe this applies to productivity, be it in terms of your desk setup or your productivity systems. Let's get started with my physical space, from the largest to the smallest item. The last one is my latest addition but has quickly become one of my favorites. I have a standing desk, but for most of the time in the past, I remain seated. Fortunately, I've been using it more for standing after taking the suggestion from Ryan Doris, who suggested leaving your desk in the standing position every time you leave your desk. And now I can say I'm making full use of my standing desk. This is also what Ryan Doris referred to as positional variance. In short, having different settings or positions for your work that you can change to can help elevate feelings of tiredness and make you feel refreshed again. I've now got 3 positions that I switch between, and they are sitting, standing, and walking on my treadmill. Now when I have to focus for say 2 hours but I start to feel lethargic at the hour mark, I can drink a sip of water and switch to standing mode. I have honestly been doing something similar unknowingly even before I got a standing desk. I would sometimes go out to work on my dining table or use my sister's desk when she's not using it. The next big thing is my Herman Aeron chair. When sitting at my desk for long hours, an ergonomic chair is essential. Maintaining good posture and comfort helps, especially when it comes to longer focus sessions to maintain your flow state. Other than that, I just find this chair to be very fitting for my setup. Moving on, the monitor that I have is the Apple Studio Display. A big reason why I got this monitor is because of its clean aesthetic. But for more practical reasons, this monitor has a much nicer display for doing graphic design, and it also has a built-in camera for quick meetings, and really good speakers which I use to play amazing soundscapes from NDL whenever I'm doing deep work. It's a little expensive, which is why it took me so long to make this purchase. But I think it's worth it for me as someone who appreciates clean design, which often calms my nerves. One more thing is that it connects relatively fast and well with my MacBook, and that allows me to get started quickly. And talking about my MacBook, this is the M3 MacBook Pro which powers my monitor, and so far it handles everything I do really well, whether I'm using Notion, designing in Figma, or editing my video in Final Cut Pro. A little about my lighting setup is I've got these Philips Hue light bars stuck on the back of my monitor. I initially got them because I wanted to illuminate my setup as it was rather dark, but I've recently learned that this is called bias lighting. Bias lighting is a soft light source placed behind a screen or monitor, commonly found in home cinemas and video editing setups to help enhance viewing quality and reduce eye strain. Now that I know, I will definitely be keeping these light bars for the long run. Next on my desk is the perfect keyboard and mouse combo from Logitech. I really like this keyboard. It's the perfect blend of the fun of mechanical keyboards while still being a productive peripheral that allows me to type fast. And this mouse is the MX Master 3S, which has lots of built-in functionalities. I honestly have not come to fully utilizing it, but I really like the horizontal scroll which I use in Notion and in video editing. Other than that, the main reason I got this mouse is that I really like its ergonomics and how it feels in my hand. So I'm getting to the smaller but highly useful items, starting with the simplest productivity tools one could ask for, the pen and notepad. Every night I review my to-do list in Notion and write down 1 to 3 things that I must get done tomorrow. The next day in the morning, I focus for 1.5 hours straight, starting from the most important task at the top. Why 1 to 3? Because I found that my tasks vary in size a lot, and it's helpful to have a flexible range. Physical reminders such as these are easy to glance down at any time without having to open your to-do apps or keep them open all the time. Because most of us have a lot going on in our to-do list, and it can be distracting and at times daunting to check that in the morning. Whereas having decided what your priorities are the night before, you can better focus and get into the flow of working on that 1 to 2 tasks until they are finished. The last item on my desk is a 3-minute hourglass timer. Regardless of your role, even if you are doing what you love for a living, which I'm really fortunate to be doing, there are still boring and sometimes big and scary tasks you want to procrastinate on. Whenever I feel that way, I tell myself I will only work on the task for the next 3 minutes, and I turn the hourglass timer. Most of the time I do end up continuing, and I really like the analogy with Newton's first law. It's easier to stay in motion once you're in motion, and on the other hand, procrastination persists because when you're at rest, it's easier to stay that way. On another perspective, I see turning my hourglass timer as an on switch. It signals to my mind and body that I'm ready to start work and stay focused. And that sums up my physical space. I want to pause and say that it's normal for things to get messy on your desk, and it happens to me all the time when I'm filming. What matters is that you put things back in order and always start your day with a clear and organized setup. Next, I would like to discuss what I believe is the most important space, white space. But what is white space? White space, also known as negative space, is a concept in design where empty or open space is purposely used to create a balanced layout and promote a certain item or message. You may have noticed that Apple stores design their displays with plenty of white space around their products. This draws attention and imparts importance to their product. In terms of productivity, white space can refer to time, physical space, or digital space that is intentionally left empty to allow for a kind of mental breathing room where creativity, focus, and productivity can flourish. consider not just what needs to be on your desk, but also what you can remove from it. Having less means less distractions, less cognitive load, and less decision fatigue. The best way we can start is keeping your phones outside of your room, or at the very least, away from your desk. Lastly, let's talk about your digital space, where most of us do our work. You should be highly conscious of how you set up your digital environment, as it often contains the most distractions. Firstly, I've set up focus mode which syncs between my phone and computer. Doing so is how I block notifications during my focus sessions. It takes a while to get into flow, and a single second of distraction can break it. You don't want that to happen, do you? So either turn off all notifications or set the schedule to go into do not disturb on your devices. Applying the concepts of white space, I keep the number of dock apps on my computer to a minimum, and I've set the dock to hide automatically. I also keep my desktop free of files, ensuring I always start with a clear space where I can focus on what I intend to do. I find it handy to have a Notion calendar widget on the menu bar at the top to tell me what's ongoing or what's up next. And as mentioned, I like to play soundscapes from Endel to set the scene for going into deep work or focus. Lastly, I choose to use my apps in full screen by default to maintain focus on the task at hand. Unless when it's necessary, such as when researching or writing notes, I will sometimes have 1 to 2 windows open up side by side. If you'd like a full video on how I set up my digital workspace, let me know below. With that, I hope you found this video helpful, and if you're interested in how I set up my phone to be minimal and productive, check out this video on the screen. Thanks for watching, and see you soon.